Hey everybody, my name's Chris, and I'm a bookaholic. All right, let's talk. First, this is not some sort of new invitation into an author you've never heard of or a series you've never heard of. I just want to take a couple minutes and talk about one author and one series right now. I finished during the month of January this book, We Are the Dead by Mike Shackle. And this was really, really good. I actually did give this 5 stars. In retrospect, I might should have given it just a little bit lower, but I get kind of what's going on. There's a character in this book named Tinstra who is basically a catastrophic mess of fear. And there's a lot of reasons why, and I'm not going to go into it, obviously, for the purpose of not spoiling anything. But I must say that it gets freaking annoying. And at some point, you're wanting to say, can you just wake the crud up and get involved and stop being such a wuss? But that would be insensitive. This book is, it feels to me like it's Asian inspired. It feels to me like it's kind of this kind of coming together synthesis of a number of different epic battle stories, genres, ideas. But I'm loving it, actually. I'm loving not only the characters, but I love that the evil is actually evil. Like, in order for the good to really be sometimes emphasized and highlighted, you need to have an antagonist that is really good at being an antagonist. You should loathe the antagonist. And a lot of times there's propensity to almost minimize the evil and the bad of the antagonist. And I'm not sure 100% why that happens, but this definitely gets brutal. And in some ways, as difficult and as hard as that is to endure, it is amazing then when you see some of the fruit of that in terms of the tenacity and the really the ability for a person to endure great difficulties and come out the other side. I mean, it's incredible. Jaya's people, right? So learned the hard way that there are no second chances. The Igral, their ancient enemies, struck with magic so devastating that Jaya's armies were wiped out. And now terror reigns. And that terror is, as mentioned, very, very terrifying. And somehow Tinstra, a deserter, a failure, nothing but a coward, she survives. And she wants no more than to just hide from the chaos. But dragged into a desperate plot to retake Jaya, surrounded by people willing to do anything to win the fight, this time Tinstra will need to do more than hide. So this, to me, is phenomenal. It's a lot. Like, it's definitely action-packed, and it's definitely, very interesting, curious kind of moments. You're not 100% sure what's going on. I like that personally in a book. I don't want to know everything. I hate it when I can figure out what's going on with a book early on, and yeah, I've been enjoying the flow. And the other characters that are brought in, Yas and Jax, these characters are unique in and of themselves. And even though it's a multiple POV, what's kind of cool is over the long haul, they start kind of flowing. You start caring more for the characters. And then ultimately, Shackle starts messing around with those characters some more. And then you find yourself at the end thinking, oh my gosh, that was exhausting, but that was so satisfying. And I did something I hardly ever do. I immediately opened up Fool's Hope and started right in. And I just don't do that. Partly I need to just set and be, kind of in the zone with what I just read, maybe take something else and kind of, the palate cleansing idea. But I couldn't wait. I just kept thinking about this. And then I thought, Well, forget it. I'm just going right in. So I just started this, and already loving it, And then, of course, the last of the Mohicans here, until the last, which I'll realistically probably go right in. Well, I'll tell you, because I liked the first one so much, I started thinking, well, maybe I should get the hardcover edition, but because personally, this is like weird. It's not like the big, Orbis, the bigger Orbis books. They this is what I like. I like these kinds right here, but they're significantly smaller, right? So when I got them, I thought to myself, well, that kind of is a bummer, but it's whatever. I'm reading them, and, but you know what happened? I forget who it was. Maybe it was Library of a Viking over there mentioned, oh, by the way, I can't believe that the Shackle books are still available from Broken Binding. And I thought, what? So I finished, I was reading this at the time. I'm in an airport. It's like 4 a.m. Okay, my flight's at 5:10. You don't need to know that, but I'm getting ready to load in a little bit, and I read or see that comment, and I go to Broken Binding, and I'm thinking to myself, $100. That's not small. But then I remembered, I have a birthday. Everyone does, once a year. But my birthday happens in a week. And so, January 27th, for anyone who cares. The truth, I decided, I think my dad's going to send me just a little bit of money, and I'm going to go ahead and use that, and I'm going to buy this Broken Binding. So I did. And I think I was the last one. I think I bought the last set. So if you hate me now, I'm sorry. They're that good. Look, I like a nice, cool book. I'm a big fan of Folio Society, and I like Broken Binding and some of the other, publishing houses that are putting out these specialized, gorgeous editions. I mean, of course, why wouldn't I? But at the end of the day, I want to read the books. I'm not fondling them. Well, I'm not only fondling them. The point is that these, to me, were good enough to buy. The hardcover special fancy schmancy edition. So I did. And I'm pumped. And I don't feel bad about it. Now, my hope is when they come here, they're taller than this. And why does that matter? Because if you're taller, you're more slender. It's jokes like that make me think, you should have rethought that. So long and the short, what are you reading? What books are you loving? What series kind of is under your belt? I will say the Ryan Cahill books, come on. And Christopher Racchio, come on. I have a feeling that if those books are coming out with some sort of, well, I think Kyle's already did, but fancy schmancy, kind of editions, then I'm going to struggle not buying them. So, but again, I got to read them. And so sometimes having the paperback or the digital format's nice for me to just kind of read through. And then the fancy schmancy ones can go on my shelf and I can just look at them and call them my precious. So any hoozle, hope you're well. Let me know what you're reading. If you've not read the Mike Shackle series, I don't know how to explain it, but you need to. Now look, I do think, who was it? I can't remember if it's Talking Story or Tori. I think it's somebody. They just interviewed him, and I started watching it, and then I thought, I don't want any spoilers here, so I'm not gonna watch it. But I remember he said basically the idea behind this series was, what if all the heroes, everybody that's some sort of legendary, figure, what if they all die and fail? and all you have left are the broken, the insignificant, the overlooked. What if they're the only ones left? What would you do? And I thought, well, that sounds like a story I need to read. And I did. Some people like to say that this is, maybe it's a little bit like Game of Thrones, and I can see that. And I like that Glenn Cook, right, gives some high praise for it. Likely the next Game of Thrones. That's a pretty amazing figure. He did, of course, The Black Company, and very known. Quite the compliment. You should check it out. Tell me what you think. All right. I love this stuff, and I hope you do too.